Hey, how's it going? So I realized that some of you like to just get into the nuts and bolts of the video straight away. So if that is you, then here's the timestamp where I start taking you through the exercise. But I would encourage you to actually watch the entire video because I give you a lot of context. I just wanted to give you the choice if you're the kind of person who's in a hurry and just needs to get going. So with that, enjoy the video. Okay, so after multiple retakes, I realized that the best way for me to actually talk about this content was to split this concept into 3 separate videos. So today's video is going to be talking about the 13 questions that you need to be asking yourself to figure out how to live your life in accordance with the things that you value, that you passionately, purposefully value. And when you know what those things are, your life becomes effortless, it becomes joyful, it becomes magnetic. You attract the things that you absolutely love to do. So that's going to be this video. And in tomorrow's video, I'm going to be talking about pop culture, my relationship with it, why it mattered so much to me my entire life, and why it doesn't really matter all that much to me now, and the state of how I see pop culture at the moment in the 2020s kind of like era. And then the third video, part 3, is going to be talking about your great work. What is the legacy that you are planning to leave behind? Because I've been thinking about this great work, I've had an idea about what it is, but it's really only sunk home that it's time for me to start it. And it's because of this values exercise that we're going to be talking about today. So let's dive in. The things that you do in life are most likely in accordance with certain things that you purposefully value. And it's important to know thyself. And so subsequently, it's important to figure out what those value related things are. Now, this exercise that I'm going to take you through, it's not something that I've designed. It was designed by somebody so much more at a higher level than me. And I'm so very grateful that he's come into my life. His name is Dr. John Demartini. And this is his exercise called the Values Determination Exercise. So let's start off with this. What is a value? A value is not a feeling word. It's not the fluffy, feel-good words like love or joy or friendship, companionship. It's nothing to do with that. A value in the context of this exercise is actually, it's something substantial, something that you can most likely see, feel, touch, taste. Okay, it's normally something within your immediate environment or something that predominantly occupies your thoughts. And another thing to talk about just before we dive into this exercise and I ask you those 13 questions is sometimes things might come up that you might look at them and be like, ooh, I don't really like it. However, it's the continuous thing that's coming into my life. Now, that's totally okay. Because when you see what is in front of you, when basically you allow yourself to look into the mirror, then you can see how you can maybe take action steps that might be able to lead you out of those dark things. But when you don't know what those things are, then that's why you feel like life just becomes is a complete burden to you. So again, this is all an exercise in knowing yourself. And then finally, another thing to grasp is that your values change over time. And so my value of pop culture was absolutely the same at the beginning of this year when I did this exercise. Now that we're leading towards the tail end of this exercise, it's completely gone. It's always going to be something I care about, but pop culture is just, it's time. I felt like I've grown beyond that. And so yeah, do this exercise multiple times every couple of months. And especially if you're doing this exercise for the very first time, then definitely do it a couple of times because you need to refine, you need to practice. And that's life, friends. You need to practice when you're doing some new skills. So pop culture was big for me in my life, and now it isn't. And it's been replaced by other things. And I've realized that when I'm living my life in accordance with these values as a result of this exercise, life is just awesome. Like, it's just on automatically awesome mode. And when I realize that it's time for me to actually start living my life in accordance with these new values, then that's when I realized, like, hey, I need to make this video for you. So here are the 13 questions. And I hope that you can appreciate why I needed to set up the context first before we jumped into the questions. And thank you for watching if you decided to start from the beginning. Or if you've just landed, then I'd recommend listen to the beginning because there's important context there, or we'll just dive into it. So, question number 1, and what I want you to do for each answer is the 3 top things that instant gut mode like zap into your head. The first 3 things that jump into your head, that's the answer, and you write them in order of priority. So so number 1 is the thing that matters the most, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so question number 1. What occupies your space? And I'll give you examples as well, but you'll most likely find out is that as you go down the list of questions, more or less the same things start popping in as answers. So for me, the 3 things that most likely occupy my immediate space are my headphones, my computer, and my phone. And I don't know where my phone is. Now, sometimes those answers might be vague. So for example, headphones. What I do with my headphones is I'm either listening to music or I'm listening to business skill pop culture stuff. Sorry, not pop culture stuff, like business skills, specifically that. So, and the occasional pop culture video. So for example, PC and phone, that's not a value. But when you hit the answer and it's like, yes, that resonates with me at my core, at my being, that's when you know that you have the answer. So what do I do with my PC and my phone? It's most likely at the moment right now, business skills or music, the occasional pop culture thing, spiritual stuff, and financial market trading. So yeah, the first couple of questions, they're the harder ones, but as we go down the list, it becomes so much easier. So what are those 3 things for you? What are the 3 things that occupy your immediate space? Question number 2, what are the 3 things that you spend your time doing that occupy your time? Okay, question number 3, what are the 3 things that you spend your energy on? What are the things that give you light? What are the things that that accelerate you? Where the things that you don't need to be told to do them, you just do them intrinsically. Question number 4, what do you spend your money on? Question number 5, what are the 3 things where you are most ordered and organized? Question number 6, what are the 3 things where you are the most reliable, disciplined, and focused? Question number 7, what are your 3 most dominant thoughts? Question number 8, what do you visualize and also realize? So for example, on the macro and the micro scale, what are the things that you visualize as a thought and then you put it into action and it actually becomes done? I think we're on question number 8 or question number 9. What are the 3 things that are most common in your internal dialogue? Question number 10. In social situations, what are the 3 things that you love to talk about? So for example, if people are talking about rugby, one person might be completely detuned from that. Another person might completely switch on. So when people in social situations look at you and ask, what are you doing? Or like, what do you love to talk about? Or let's talk about something. What is that subject? What are those 3 things? Question number 11. What are the 3 things that inspire you the most? Question 12. What are the 3 things that you see as long-term goals and you are actively taking steps towards realizing those 3 things? And question number 13, what are the 3 things that you love to learn about? Now, I want you to go through those things and start to tally them up. Again, Some of those things might need refinement. So, for example, if it's something that doesn't hit you or resonate you, then ask a question deeper. Like, what is it about that certain thing that makes sense for me? Sometimes more than one answer might crop up. What you want to find by telling up all these different things is what is your first value, the thing that pops up the most frequently, what is your second, and what is your third. There might be other things that crop up, and those things might actually be something from the original three, from the main three that crops up the most, or it might be an ancillary value, something that's secondary, something that is of importance but not as important as your top three. Or in some cases, you might be in a completely new stage of change where you might have so many different things, but eventually, as time progresses, some of those things will drop away. So I'll give you an example, because I'm at this stage of my life where I'm on a new phase of growth. My top three is how I spend my space, time, energy, money, etc., 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 is first on spiritual related topics and themes, second on financial market trading, and third, a box that I call other. So this box, what's inside this box are things like music, like pop culture, but I can definitely see that pop culture is continuously going to slip away. Things like learning business skills, things like Japan, and that's what's in the box. So I'm just going to keep that box there, and I'm just going to keep it as other, and let's see what happens as the months go. So those are my three. Now, what I'd encourage for you to do is to do this multiple times if it's the first time you're doing this exercise. And if you need a little bit more clarity, then absolutely go to Dr. John Demartini's YouTube channel, and you can YouTube the values determination process. There are many, many examples where he runs the exercise with you. Cool. That's that for this video. I'll see you tomorrow where we talk about pop culture, and may it rest in peace. Till then, good night. And I hope that this exercise today served you. And if it did, then please like, comment, let me know what you liked, didn't like about the video. And if it really served you, then honor yourself and share this, please. Because if it served you, then it most likely will serve other people in your social group. So I'd really appreciate that too. And with that, much love, much gratitude, friends. Go well. I'll see you tomorrow.